Happy hump day, everyone. Welcome to today's episode of Daily Betslip. It is myself, it is Peter Dewey, and we are another day closer to the NFL season. In today's segment, we have been talking a lot of NFL. Today, we'll be talking about NFL Coach of the Year picks. And also, we have, of course, MLB. Peter's got a WNBA pick. I have a golf pick for tomorrow. And we have community picks and, of course, the bad beat of the night. Tonight's game of the night is the Minnesota Twins against the Houston Astros. Maybe a little bit lopsided in the odds department, but two teams who the Astros are fighting for the top spot in the AL, Twins fighting for a playoff spot in the AL Central. So a little bit of an important matchup, but maybe lopsided in terms of the odds. Peter, are the New York Yankees back?
They might be, man. 3 wins in a row. Feeling good about the way they played against the Mets. The pitching has been much better. Over the last few games. Frankie Montas wasn't terrible last night. Glad they called Clark Schmidt up because he pitched very well yesterday. So at this point, it's just maintaining that buffer and winning the division. I don't think they're going to pass the Astros for the top seed in the AL, but if they can hold off the Jays, hold off the Rays, I think they're going to be fine come playoff time.
Well, be careful because I think the Jays are going on a little run here. I think things are starting to look good for the Blue Jays. But speaking about baseball, let's start off with the bad beat of the night. And this is actually a good beat for me. Marlins Athletics. Yes, I was on the over last night. But if you were on the under, tough one. Because I'm just putting it up here. It was 5-0 heading into the bottom of the ninth. So you even had 1 run that could have been scored. You still would have won. 2 runs could have been scored. You could have pushed. 3 runs scored. You lost. And guess what? 3 runs were scored by the Oakland Athletics. It did not change the result of the game. It went from 5-0 to 5-3. If you're on the under 7 last night between the Marlins and Athletics, tough beat for you. If you're on the over like I was, great beat. All-time great beat. You love to see that. You're getting shut out, and then you get 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 runs in the bottom of the ninth for the bet to hit. So our official bad beat of the day is anyone who faded me yesterday and took the under between the Marlins and the Athletics.
That's crazy. Those are the worst two when it doesn't change the outcome. Like if it had been like 3-3 and somebody hits a 3-run homer, it's like at least it changed the outcome of the game. Like it didn't even matter. That's run line still covered too. Yeah, that's tough.
Yep. Only thing that it mattered was for the total. So there you go. That was our bad beat of the night. It's always good when I'm on the good side of a bad beat, for sure. We got some community picks here. Unfortunately, producer Joanne is on vacation for the week, so we can't show the tweets them. We have to do it the old school way. So gonna bring up the tweets in some text below. Some of them I couldn't fit all the text in, so if I get a chance, I'll I'll just read the rest of the tweet itself. But let's start with this one. Keno Sports at Keno Sports says Rangers under 6 runs is 17-5-1 the past 23 games. Any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I mean under 6 runs, you got a pretty big buffer right there. So I don't mind.
I don't like it though, and the reason why I don't like it is because that game was an earlier game, and that always messes up us up on these shows where there's an afternoon slate. Because I asked for people to submit picks earlier in the day. Sometimes they submit picks for afternoon games. This is already lost. Rangers up 9-0 right now. On the Colorado Rockies in the 7th inning. So that trend, unfortunately, did not hit. But we will talk about a game that is upcoming, and I think you have a pick on this game coming up later on the show as well. Diamondbacks first 5-inning money line -122. Zach Gallen 4-0 with a 1.00 ERA in August, and Arizona top 5 most profitable F5 team this season. A little bit of an interesting stat there in terms of the profitability in the first 5 innings as well. And that's from at DeSoxFan24. I don't want you to give away your pick. But any general thoughts on this game? And I can guarantee you this is not an afternoon game. This is a game that will happen later this evening.
Yeah, I love Zach Gallen in this spot. Kansas City's offense has struggled a lot, so definitely like this play. I like taking Arizona's bullpen out of the equation too with how well Gallen's been pitching.
So there you go. Producer Joanne, noted Arizona Diamondback fan, not here today, but we are praising them for a change, which is always nice. The Cubs and the Cardinals. That is also a game that is happening later tonight, and that is a pick coming in from at Third and Ben. Cardinals Cubs over 8-5. Both teams in the top 10 in WRC plus versus righties. Since the deadline, the Cardinals are at top that list. And also he says I couldn't fit it in the graphic here, but he also says Michaelis worse on the road. Spot start for Farrell, Cubs bullpen in bottom 10 since deadline as well. So he is on the Cardinals and the Cubs over 8.5 tonight.
Yeah, I think this is a good spot to back the Cubs offense. I know our guy Joe Summers, I think he wrote up this game today, and he talked about fading Farrell. The Cardinals, they're first in runs scored, first in OPS over the last 15 days. So they're hitting the cover off the ball, and they're going to face a guy who's really just not a quality major league pitcher. So definitely only 8.5. Like if this had gotten up to like 9.5, I might have stayed away, but I don't mind over 8.5 here. You got any thoughts?
No, I like that play quite a bit. Anything there, if we want to take the over on any Cardinals games, I'm in on it just because of how hot their offense has been. I'm buying stock in the Cardinals. I think they could be a little bit of a dark horse team when the playoffs get here. So there you go, Cardinals Cubs over 8.5 from at Third and Ben. Let's get into our picks for the show. Peter, why don't you start us off? Let's go back to that Diamondbacks game. What is your pick for that game for tonight's MLB slate?
Yeah, so I'm taking Zach Gallen to record a win here. Was trying to find a way. I don't mind the first 5 route either for Arizona, but I just thought this was a little bit more value at plus 150, and I think it's going to happen. You look at the way Zach Gallen's pitched over the month of August, and really just even longer than that. He's been dominant, 21 1/3 scoreless innings coming into this game, giving up just 9 hits over that stretch. Facing a Kansas City team that's ranking 26th in OPS and 23rd in runs scored over the last 15 days. And the other thing with Gallen, he's pitching deep into games. He's had 3 straight starts with 7+ innings pitched. And he's earned the decision, which has been a win in 5 of his last 6 starts. They've won all 6 of those games. He's earned the win in 5 of them. So I like this spot for him against a weak offense. Maybe he gets you 7 innings. Should be in line to win this one. And like we said, the Diamondbacks very profitable first 5 teams. So I think if they have the lead through 5, Zach Gallen's still going to be in this game. And I like him a lot. Plus 150, I think, is a real solid price to get here against a Royals team that's just not very good this season.
Nice little plus money bet there, Zach Gallen to record a win at plus 550. I also have a play for that game, but really quick, Don Play chimes in and says, "Salute, fellas. Hello, my friend. Let us know if you have any best bets for tonight as well, and we'll give our thoughts." Fun little fact about the Kansas City Royals, though. If you Google Royals, Kansas City Royals is not what comes up. What comes up is Royals by Lord. Peter, are you a big Lord fan?
Not really, to be honest with you. If I'm being 100% honest, no, not the biggest Lord fan.
Shout out
once
Lord.
in a while Lord. You could throw it on, but
yeah, great song, Royals by Lord.
It is. That is a good song. That is.
Do you want to sing it for us? Do you want to give us a little sample?
No.
All right.
I honestly, off the top of my head, I couldn't even tell you where to start. I'd have to see the lyrics to sing the song, to be honest.
Yeah, Royals. Okay, speaking of the Royals, I'm going to go.
Okay, there we go.
Yes. I'm going to go Brady Singer under 5.5 strikeouts tonight for the Royals, minus 130. This has been my bread and butter bet all year, is you take the starting pitcher that is facing the Arizona Diamondbacks, and you take the under on their strikeout total, because although they stink, they're very good at not striking out. I believe they have the second lowest strikeout rate in Major League Baseball dating back to July 1st, only striking out on 18.4% of their plate appearances. I was on Jonathan Heasley starter for the Royals last night. I took the under last night. And that cashed. I think he only got like 1 or 2 strikeouts, so I'll just do it again tonight. I will say Brady Singer, though, has gotten a ton of strikeouts in recent starts, so it is a little bit of a risky play if you think he's going to keep that up. But I'm just going to keep riding this Diamondbacks trend of backing their opposing starting pitchers under in strikeouts. So there you go. Brady Singer under 5.5 strikeouts. Tonight is my best bet. You got a little underdog bet coming up here, Peter. Break it down, because I think it is related to the sign that is in the background today.
It is. The Orioles at home. One of my favorite teams to bet this year, especially when they're at home. I just can't believe the White Sox are road favorites here. I know Lucas Giolito's on the mound, and if you said, Lucas Giolito's on the mound prior to the 2022 season, I'd say, yeah, White Sox got a good chance to win. But this year, that has just not been the case. He's struggled mightily. Since June, he has a 6.32 ERA. In August, he has a 6.30 ERA. So basically, he's just been bad for a while at this point. Got rocked in his last start, gave up 7 runs and a loss to the Astros. I can't, in good faith, back him as a favorite. And then you just look at some of the stuff for the O's in this game. Spencer Watkins was getting the start for them. He's got a 2.81 ERA since returning to the rotation on June 25th. The O's are elite at home. They're 36-23 straight up, and they're an astounding. This is crazy, dude. 33-9 against the spread as home underdogs this year. I'm going to take it a step further and take them to win. Because their run line is like minus 160. I'd rather just take them to win this game. I think they're going to beat up on Giolito. So give me the O's at plus money here. Auto bet, literally an auto bet. Like the sign doesn't lie. I see them as an underdog at home. I'm taking them almost every time.
By far the most profitable team in Major League Baseball this season. I've already flew past their preseason win projection total. The Baltimore Orioles. Really quick before I get to my last baseball pick here, Don Play says, can we talk week 0? I'll tell you, I don't have any week 0 plays on this show. Reed had his first episode of the Early Read. Is that the name of it?
Yeah,
fantastic name. Yesterday he was live with Ken Barkley, so go check that out for all your week 0 for your week 0 breakdowns. If you have a week 0 pick though, my friend Don Play, let us know. I'll read it out. I'll tail it. How about that? You give me a week 0 play right now. I will lock it in live on the show. How about that? But I got one more baseball pick for tonight before we get to the game of the night at the end of the show. I'm going to back my trusty Toronto Blue Jays minus 1.5 on the run line at even money against the Boston Red Sox here. I know a lot of people aren't trusting Jose Barrios lately. I'm not giving up on him just yet. He's coming off a strong performance against the Yankees, and in his 2 starts against the Red Sox so far this season, he's only allowed 3 earned runs in 13 innings pitched. Let's not forget the Red Sox starting the Brayan Bello, 8.47 ERA. I know he's a young guy. He's only had 3 starts, but even if he does survive tonight, Red Sox have to turn to their bullpen, which since July 1st ranks dead last in bullpen ERA. At 5.69. That is a disgusting bullpen ERA. Not good, not good, not good. Jays offense is going to light them up. Give me the Jays on the run line here. We're going to go on a little streak. Go Jays go. I think I might even be at their game Friday night against the Angels. Give them a little in-person good luck there. So how about that? Little Jays action. Don Play has given me a college football week 0 play that I will be locking in right now. Don Play says under 50.5 between Northwestern and Nebraska. So there you go. The only college football play we have on the show for you from Don Play himself. As Peter gives out his WNBA pick, I will lock that in for you right now. I'm tailing you, Don Play. Do not let me down. It's going to be my only college football play I'm betting this whole weekend. So this one's on you, my friend. No pressure. Peter, go ahead with your...
that's a big one.
It's a big one, and I'm going to put 1 million units on it. How about that? So, just joking. All right, Peter, you got a WNBA bet for us tonight. A little WNBA playoff action. Go ahead and hit us with it.
Yeah, this one's a pretty straightforward one for me. We got Game 3 against the Sun and the Wings. Last first-round matchup to get wrapped up. Sun lost Game 2. They lost by 10. I'm backing them as 6-point favorites tonight. Arike Ogunbowale, who's the Wings' best player, is actually probable for this game. She missed the first 2 games with a core muscle injury. She's going to play tonight. So you may say, oh, well, Pete, why are you backing the Sun? The Game 2 loss, if you look at that game, they got outscored 22-7 in the first quarter, and they outplayed the Wings the whole rest of the game. They just dug themselves such a big hole. They were not able to come back. I don't think that happens tonight in a do-or-die game. The other thing is Connecticut. You just look at season long. Like, I don't want to overreact to this game too. They're second in the WNBA in offensive rating, first in net rating, third in defensive rating. This is one of the best teams in the league. The Wings went on a really nice run to end the regular season to get into this playoff spot, kind of position themselves. But I don't know how Ogunbowale is going to look tonight. She missed the end of the regular season, missed the first 2 playoff games, might be a little rusty. I just think this is a game where this spread, I believe for Game 2 was like 11.5. It's all the way down to 6 because the Wings won. I think we're getting some value on that here. I don't see Connecticut falling down 15 points in the first quarter and not being able to buy a bucket. They went from having like 7 players in double figures in game 1 to 2 in game 2. I think the offense gets back on track here. So I like the Sun at -6 compared to the first 2 games of this series. A little bit of a decent price compared to what we saw before.
There you go. Sun -6 and some WNBA action tonight. Speaking of Sun, Peter, how do you feel about Lord Song's Solar Power? Big fan of that song?
See, now I don't even know. I'm so little of a Lord fan. I don't know Sun either. I know Royal. I've heard that one before.
Don Play, who gave me, while you were talking, Peter, I went to go lock in Don Play's play of under 50.5 between Northwestern and Nebraska. He's given me a little bit of a stale number. He must be a sharp because since he's locked in that bet, the number has moved down to 49.5. It's moved down a point, Don Play. Gave me a stale number. It doesn't matter. I'm going to ride you anyways, but if it lands on 50, I'm going to come after you for the money. So under 49.5 between Northwestern and Nebraska. I got a little round 1 2-ball bet going for tomorrow's, this week's tour championship, but for round 1, which starts tomorrow. A little bit of a chalky play, but I think it's the right one. It's Adam Scott -155 against Sahith Theegala. Big difference between these two guys. Adam Scott has played in the tour championship at East Lake about 8 million times, and this is the first time that Sahith Theegala will be playing at the tour championship at East Lake. Not exactly a golf course that is kind to people who aren't used to it, to people who are new to it. Whereas Adam Scott has won this event before, I believe all the way back in 2006, and he's played it a ton. He's always found success on it. So I'm gonna lean on the veteran for a round 1 2-ball matchup here at the Tour Championship. Adam Scott -155. I will say as well, if you want my full breakdown, mine and Cody Williams, check out this week's episode of Green on the Greens. Watch it after this. We did it on Monday, I guess. Time flies. That is the season finale of Green on the Greens as well. So be sure to check that out. So there you go. Peter, go ahead and just list off your 3 bets for tonight before we move on to NFL Coach of the Year. We have no recap graphic once again because I'm doing double duty. No producer Joanne today. So go ahead and just read off your 3 bets for me tonight.
Yeah, I got you. I got Zach Gallen to record a win for the Diamondbacks against the Kansas City Royals +150. I got the Orioles money line +100 against the White Sox, and then I have the Sun -6 against the Wings in Game 3 of the WNBA playoffs.
There you go. And I have, as you see there, Adam Scott -155 against Sahith Theegala. I got the Blue Jays run line at even money against the Red Sox, and Brady Singer under 5.5 strikeouts for the Royals. Against the Diamondbacks, Cody Williams, my Green on the Greens co-host, is chiming in with his own round 1 2-ball bet. He's back at Joaquin Neiman, the Chilean, even money against Jordan Spieth. The roller coaster that is Jordan Spieth, but I know you are a Jordan Spieth stan, Peter. How do you feel about that pick?
Yeah, I think Cody, he saw me on the show. He wanted to get my blood boiling here. No, Jordan Spieth's winning that matchup. Jordan Spieth is going to be a sneaky player this week. He's not going to win the whole thing. He's too far back, but he's going to make himself some money this week.
Maybe a guy you could target to win to finish with the best gross score without the added strokes. Always, Jordan Spieth keeps you on your toes when you bet either on him or against him. He could look like he's old Jordan Spieth one hole, and then he could look like me the next hole. So, and Cody Williams follows up with that by saying sneaky, as in lurking in the bushes looking for his ball. Yes.
Listen, if you get good Jordan Spieth, he's going to have quite the round, but you also could get terrible Jordan Spieth. What keeps me coming back is when I bet on him and you get good Jordan Spieth, it's like, yeah, this is the guy I always knew was going to come out, but those are few and far between. So
yes. Let's switch gears before we go back to baseball and talk about the game of the night. Let's talk NFL here. We have talked about everything. A lot of the times it's actually been you that have been talking to with these NFL picks. We've done what? We power rank quarterbacks, we power rank running backs, we power rank receivers. We've talked about division winners, playoff teams, non-playoff teams. We're running out of things to talk about. The NFL season needs to finally get here. I suggested that on this show we power rank our top 5 kickers and punters in the NFL. That idea was unfortunately shut down. Instead, we were going to talk about NFL Coach of the Year bets So, Peter, why don't you start us off? Who is your bet to win NFL Coach of the Year in 2022?
Yeah, I got one that's actually pretty far down the board here. I feel like a lot of people aren't going to agree with, but I'm taking Mike Tomlin at plus 3,000 to win the Coach of the Year. I'm shocked Mike Tomlin doesn't have a Coach of the Year in his coaching career because he is arguably a top 5 coach in all of football. I think that's not a hot take at all. Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season in his career,
That's
which
true.
is pretty
Holy
remarkable.
moly.
Never had a losing season. Has picked up 8 wins minimum in every single season of his coaching career. Now you got a Steelers team whose win total this year is set at 7.5. I'm taking the over probably on that. I've been waiting to bet it to see if it gets dropped down even further, depending upon who they name as the starting quarterback. But I think that Mike Tomlin's, they might be a sneaky chance at making the playoffs here. Last year, the Steelers made the playoffs, finished second in the AFC North. Yes, the Baltimore Ravens had injury issues, but Ben Roethlisberger looked like a corpse of himself out there last year. And somehow this football team still found a way to get into the playoffs. Let's not forget when Devlin Duck Hodges and Mason Rudolph were quarterbacking for an entire season, and Mike Tomlin still found a way to win 8 games. Probably should have gotten Coach of the Year votes those years. I think he can get some here. I don't think Mitch Trubisky or Kenny Pickett or even Mason Rudolph, I would hope it's not him, but I think the first 2 guys, how much worse than Ben Roethlisberger can they be this year? Yes, there's going to be growing pains if Pickett's the quarterback, but Big Ben couldn't push the ball down the field last year. It killed their running game, just made it easy for teams to stack the box against Najee Harris. So I think there's some value here on Tomlin. I think they could be a sneaky team, possibly make the playoffs, especially now that the Browns aren't going to have Deshaun Watson. I think you pick up an easy win potentially early in the season against them. And then also I kind of think that takes them out of the playoff picture in the AFC. Yes, the AFC is loaded, but I think that's all the more reason if Tomlin does get this team into the playoffs that he deserves Coach of the Year consideration. So don't sleep on Mike Tomlin. I really think he's the most underrated coach in all of football. So I like him a lot to win this award.
Here's what I'll say. And actually, while you were talking, Peter, I looked it up. Mike Tomlin's never won Coach of the Year to me, which is shocking to me, I should say.
It's crazy. It's
crazy. There should be some kind of career award for Coach of the, I don't know, just an award to give to coaches who haven't won Coach of the Year that deserve it. Because Mike Tomlin has been one of the best, if not, well, obviously Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick, that's the thing. You can't say
he's been a top 3, top 5 head coach in throughout his entire career. Has never won Coach of the Year, and like you said, he's kind of made some very poorly talented teams into borderline and a lot of time playoff teams. So love Mike Tomlin. My issue with that bet, though, if I were to play devil's advocate, is it usually goes to one of 2 guys. It either usually goes to a veteran coach who coaches a team that's like the number 1 seed in the conference, or a first-year head coach that takes a shitty team to the wild card spot, where Mike Tomlin's kind of in a tough situation, where if he just makes a wild card spot, they're probably not going to give it to him. I think the only way he can get it this year if the Steelers are a number 1 or number 2 seed, which is going to be tough.
Yeah, that's probably not going to happen. I mean, maybe if they win the AFC North, he gets in there. I think that's a fair argument. I just also think a lot of people are super low on the Steelers this year, so I'm wondering if that's going to help him in this. And it's just crazy to me because I get why people think the quarterback situation is going to be questionable. This is still one of the best defenses in football, and they still have it's not like they're bringing in some random guy off the street. Trubisky's got some talent. He did bring the Bears to a playoff game. Kenny Pickett's a first-round pick. It's not like it's not the Duck Hodges year. So that to me, it's if he was able to get 8 wins out of Mason Rudolph and Duck Hodges, he could do something with this team. Maybe it doesn't win Coach of the Year, but I think at these odds, it might be worth a shot.
Duck Hodges is getting some unbelievable ricochet shots in this show.
He deserves it. No, but no. I mean, let's be honest though. Let's call a spade a spade. If any other team has Duck Hodges as their quarterback and they're winning 8 games, come on. Do
you think Duck Hodges is still in the NFL?
I doubt it. Maybe he is, but I doubt it.
He's not.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Ooh, he last played for the Ottawa Red Blacks of the CFL last year. There you go. Couldn't even cut it out in the Canadian Football League. How about that? Hodges is retired from professional football. As of April 22nd of this year, Duck Hodges retired from
Wow.
professional football. There you go. Shout out Duck Hodges. But yeah, to your point, I mean, 30-1 on a guy who is objectively a top 3 coach in the NFL. I'm not going to play devil's advocate too much on that bet. If you want a dark horse, sure, I like it. But I'm going to give you a guy who's a little bit further up the odds list, but not by much. And that guy who actually wrote an article today just about this. So if you want to kind of see my more in-depth argument, go over and check out that article. But my pick for Coach of the Year, Zach Taylor of the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals just won the AFC. They won the AFC North. They represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. And now all of a sudden people don't think that they can really do it back because they are do it again this year because they are like 5th or 6th, I think 6th on the odds list right now to win the AFC. I don't think that's fair. This is a team who only got better in the offseason because if you look at it, the Bengals did something which I didn't think was possible last season, is that they led the NFL in yards per pass attempt while also allowing the second highest sack percentage. Like Joe Burrow was getting sacked almost 10% of the time he was dropping back, but yet when he was getting his passes off, they were still, like I said, led the NFL in yards per pass attempt. Now, what did the Bengals do? They went out and got Joe Burrow an offensive line. They got Alex Kappa from the Buccaneers, Ted Karras from the Patriots at center, and the tackle Lael Collins from the Cowboys. And now we're talking about a team that already won the AFC last year to now a team who fixed their issues and they beefed up their defensive secondary in the draft as well. They fixed their weak spots. So we saw how good Joe Burrow was last year when he didn't have an offensive line. Now he has an offensive line. Now, I know we're not talking about MVP, but I mentioned earlier the 2 ways that you can win Coach of the Year is either as a brand new head coach, you take a shitty team to the playoffs, or you lead the team to the number 1 seed in the conference and the best record in the NFL. That's how Mike Vrabel won Coach of the Year last year. I think that's how Zach Taylor can win it this year. If the Bengals get the number 1 seed in the AFC, and I think they can with that improved offensive line, Zach Taylor 25-1 to win NFL Coach of the Year. I will admit, though, hand up, this time last year, I was telling people to bet on Zach Taylor to be the first coach to be fired. So here we are, full circle. Now this year, I'm telling you to go bet on him to win Coach of the Year.
I think the narrative is definitely there for him. I don't mind the play at all. Obviously, you know, I'm high on the Bengals. I think they're going to be good this year. I am concerned about first in the AFC has me nervous because I do think the Ravens are going to be very good this year too, which is going to be tough in the division. I know you're out on the Ravens. I'm
out on the Ravens. I've looked into it. I have the documents. I'm out on the Ravens.
All right, we'll see. I'm in on Lamar Jackson. I'm in on a healthy Ravens team. I think they can push the Bengals at least in this division. The only devil's advocate I would almost say in this spot though, because I do like the Zach Taylor pick, is has his window almost like was last year his year to win it, and he didn't get it because they didn't because Vrabel got it. And then I wonder, do they give it to somebody else? Are people already considering Zach Taylor as too good of a coach to just be like, oh yeah, he deserves it this year for them getting back there. I don't think it's going to happen, but I feel like he quickly became who is this guy? When he got hired, it was who is this guy? He just knows Sean McVay, to this guy should get fired, to, oh no, he's a great coach. So I'm very intrigued just to see where the trajectory for Zach Taylor is this season.
Bill Belichick won the award 3 different times, and plenty of those times he had good Patriots teams. So that would be my devil's advocate to your devil's advocate.
It's fair. It's a fair point.
Do you live next to a hospital?
No. So where I live is I live at downtown. So around the corner is the fire station. So anytime there's a fire truck going by, it drives down the street past my apartment. So basically anywhere. So it's just, you got to deal with it, but it's not too bad.
But speaking about the Ravens, though, our boy Donovan Smoot released a video today. He's on an alternate win total over 10.5 wins for the Ravens. So you and our boy Donnie Smoot is in agreement about the Ravens this year. I'm certainly not. I'm taking the under on their win total. I think they missed the playoffs.
Really? You think they missed the playoffs in that division?
I think they missed the playoffs.
I don't know about that. I know you don't like Lamar Jackson, but they're a good football team.
I know they had
They were
injuries last year.
but they were 8-3 before he got hurt last year, and then they lost like 7 in a row. I mean, they were the number 1 seed in the AFC before he got hurt.
The Baltimore Ravens finished dead last season in opponent yards per play. Teams got 6.0 yards per play against them. That was worse than the Texans, the Lions, the Jets, every single team because it's dead last. So and my issue with the Ravens actually isn't about completely Lamar Jackson. It's actually more about their defense.
They lost a lot of guys on that defense, though.
They did
Marcus
lose
Peters
a lot of
missed
guys.
the whole year. Marlon Humphrey missed like the whole year. They lost a lot of important players on that team. That's my big thing. They had like 23 or 24 guys on injured reserve in like the first 6 weeks, 8 weeks of the season. So that's
so did
my
the Titans,
argument.
and they won, and they finished with the number 1 seed.
That's fair. They also played in the AFC South, though. It's nice when you get to play the Jags and the Texans and Carson Wentz 6 out of your 17 games.
All right, fair enough. This segment was not about the Ravens. It kind of turned into that, though. But let's get back to baseball. We got game of the night here. It is the Twins. It is the Astros. It is the Astros attempting to hold on to the top seed in the American League. It is the Twins who are trying to climb back into the AL Central. How many games back of the Guardians are the Twins right now? 3 games back from the Guardians. So this would be a big series against the Astros. Unfortunately, they lost the opener last night, 4-2. Can they get it done tonight? Are you looking at a total? What way are you betting on the Astros tonight? For the pitching matchup, it is what? Dylan Bundy, and then who is it for the Astros? Framber Valdez?
Yeah. I'm actually going to go under here, which is surprising in a Dylan Bundy start. But starts with Framber Valdez has been one of the best pitchers in baseball this year. The Astros are 15-8 in his games. I just am nervous. I like this Twins team. I know they've lost 4 in a row. I don't want to back the Astros at minus money on the run line. I just don't see the value in that here. Because you look at what Valdez has done. He's allowed only more than 3 runs in 2 outings so far this season. And then on top of that, his last 20 starts, I believe it is, he's pitched a quality start, which is just crazy. I think he tied Johan Santana for the record of most consecutive quality starts. But I'm not out on Dylan Bundy right now after how bad he was to start the season. In the month of August, over the last 4, or I think this is 3 August starts, 1 July start. His last 4 starts, he has a 2.79 ERA. And you go back over his last 11 starts, he has a 3.59 ERA. So not great, but very respectable. I think. And then when you're coming back to where I'm sitting on this under, like it's -1. I got it at -105. I saw it earlier this morning at WinBet. It was actually at even money. I just think there's more value in backing both of these starters, backing this under, because the bullpens are also very good. The Astros are 2nd in baseball in bullpen ERA. I believe the Twins are 11th, but they're both top half of the league in bullpen ERA. So I think if you get a quality start out of Valdez here, you get Bundy, gets you through 5. The Astros offense hasn't been, they haven't been world beaters this year. They really are a pretty average offensive team this season. So I'm not completely out on Bundy here. I think he showed something over his last 11 starts where he can keep this low scoring. And obviously Valdez has just been a machine in quality starts. So 7.5 with these bullpens, I think it's a fair under to take.
I tried desperately to find a Lord reference one more time for Twins Astros. Unfortunately, could not. So going to have to limit it to 2 Lord references this episode. I'm going to go a different direction, but we can still, in theory, both win our bets tonight. We're going to have to kind of got to be careful with it, though, because I'm going to go with a team, first 5 team total over. Astros first 5 team total over, 2.5. Even money, because you might have faith in Dylan Bundy. I do not, my friend. He is my favorite pitcher in my entire sports betting career to fade. Yeah, sure, he's had 3 decent starts, but in the month of July, he allowed 4 earned runs, 3 earned runs, 5 earned runs, 3 earned runs. Not good. So even though he's been all right as of late, I do not trust Dylan Bundy. He's Dylan Bumdy. How about that? So I'm just going to go ahead at even money. And also, the Astros 2nd in Major League Baseball in first 5 runs scored. At 2.9 per game. So already above the set mark at 2.5 at plus money, plus 100 against Dylan Bundy tonight. So Astros first 5 team total over 2.5. We can still win these bets. I can win this. You can win the complete under 7.5 game. Gonna have to kind of be careful though. So there you go. Those are our best bets. Cody Williams chimes in. I don't really know what he means. Peter's not taking a team in the game of the night.
He's saying I'm not picking a side. I think the Astros end up winning. If you want to, I think they're minus 260 on the money line. Like there's no value.
We're not going to sit here and give them minus 265.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I think they win the game. I wasn't confident enough that they win by 2 to lay. I think it was like minus 120, minus 130 for them, minus 1.5. So I was kind of like, yeah.
Oh, I know what Cody was doing. He was making the final Lord reference for me. Team by Lord. Thank you, Cody. We hit the Lord hat trick. 3 Lord references in a show. Shout out Lord.
Has Wayne Gretzky ever did a Lord hat trick? No, but Iain has. There we go.
There we go. Perfect. I knew he was going somewhere weird with that. I couldn't figure it out in time, but Team by Lord, of course. Too bad we didn't have a tennis pick on the show. Isn't one of her shows Tennis Courts? Isn't that one of her songs?
Dude, I don't know enough Lord. I'm here.
You got to get into Lord, dude. Get into Lord. I don't know why this turned into a Lord show. Community pick disagrees with you, Peter. Community is over 7.5. It's pretty rare for the community to take a total bet. But as of right now, we got final results on the BetSided Twitter poll. 52.9% of the votes on the poll are on the over 7.5 tonight. They are likely fading Dylan Bundy alongside me. So you and the community are on opposite sides tonight, my friend.
All right, that's fine. It makes me feel pretty good about this pick, actually. Got the public against me. I could see like a 4-2 Astros win, maybe. That way we both win our bets.
Perfect. They score all 4 runs in the first 5 innings. I'm happy.
There we go.
The only people not happy will be the community, but hey, that's what happens.
That's what they get for fading me, I guess.
Correct. All right, so that is it for our show. Be sure to like and subscribe, all that good stuff if you're watching this on YouTube. And then now, right after this, head over and watch this week's episode of Green on the Greens if you haven't already. That tees off tomorrow morning, so get your bets in for that. And tomorrow, it'll be myself and Donovan doing the show. I will be reporting live from a hotel in Toronto, Ontario. So you'll see me once again in a different location. Will the internet be good enough to last a whole Daily Betslip show? Probably not, but we're going to try. So tune in tomorrow. And I think it is a earlier start time. Allow me to double check that really quick, but I believe that will be a 4 p.m. start time. It is 4 p.m. tomorrow, myself and Donovan. Maybe we'll talk a little WNBA. Maybe I'll reference a different artist. Maybe I'll just keep referencing Lord for the rest of the week. How about that? There you go. Any final thoughts, Peter, before we wrap things up?
No, I got O's at home. If you're going to bet anything that I gave out on the show today, it's O's at home. That's what I'll say.
Peter's best bet of the night. Would you call it a whale play lock of the millennium?
We could go there. I wouldn't. I have those. Yeah, whale play, lock of the millennium, full bankroll, O's at home, money line. They're going to lose 10-0 now because I said that.
You heard it here first. Lock of the millennium, Baltimore Orioles tonight. Thank you all for watching. Best luck with your bets tonight. Gambler bless. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one. As I filibuster and I bring up the closing graphic. Okay, goodbye.